Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Thinking Pack. Today we are going ahead and automatically planting a wheat farm with programming is what we are trying to do today, because last time we successfully got this turtle to find his starting position to go and refuel. So basically reset where he was located, refuel, and then wait for the wheat to grow, and then harvest the wheat. Now, we need to get this guy to actually plant the wheat and go back to where he's supposed to be, and then sort the items out. That should be a fairly simple thing to do in theory, but we shall see what, in fact, it is possible to do, or something. We shall find out. We shall find out how it works. It should, in theory, be very simple, but we shall get to that today. Programming things always sounds simple, but you always run into some sort of issues that make it really complicated, so we shall find out. So let's go ahead and get started. So, we have here, this turtle is sitting here from last time, and basically, the next thing in line, we have completed all of these previous functions: find the starting position, refuel, wait for the wheat to grow, and then harvest backwards. And next on the list is planting forwards. That is the idea. Oh, here's a thought. Okay, so, side note, before we get to planting forwards, we've got the wait for the wheat function. Now, here's an idea for you guys. Let me know if you guys think this is worth doing. I think I won't do it today, possibly, but let me know if you think it's worth doing. Here's the thing. The turtles, when they're waiting for the wheat, they will sit here on top of these wheat blocks and things like that, seeds and everything, and they'll wait and detect when this one is fully grown, and then the turtle will figure the rest of the row is probably grown, and he will go backwards and harvest the row. But as you can kind of see, I mean, these ones are all grown, those ones are all grown, like half the field is grown, stuff like that, and then there's these that are still completely not grown at all. And none of this has been harvested, I don't think, except for the ones that are actually missing right now. So that means that these are actually growing at completely different rates. Like, these ones are completely done, whereas these ones are completely not even started. And so that's an interesting thing. So the thing is, the idea is, like, how do we have it test for all the rest of the wheat there? And I'm thinking, I don't know if comparators work or anything like that, but I think comparators require redstone quartz, or nether quartz rather, which is hard to get. Let's double check that. Comparator, it requires nether quartz, which is really hard to get when you have the rule of never going to the nether, so that kind of makes it difficult. But here's a thought for you guys. I wonder if we should set up some turtles, like maybe just 4 turtles along here, and they have no tools whatsoever, but all they do is they detect the block in front. So, like, it would be a... Do I have anything to demonstrate with? No, I don't, unfortunately. But the turtle would be... Basically, he would sit right here, and his job would be entirely to watch the block in front of him. And he would sit here, watch the block, and then output a redstone signal when the block grows. And the redstone signal would go into these turtles. And at that point, these turtles, sorry, getting tongue-tied again. These turtles would then be like, oh, okay, so maybe this block hasn't grown, but one of these has, and so it has a like a greater chance of the turtle actually detecting. Like, what if the whole field grew and these blocks didn't? Is basically what I'm thinking. So maybe having extra turtles here to detect more than one block would be helpful, possibly. But then again, how would we activate these turtles to move? Like, if the redstone is coming along here like this, connects to the turtle on the end, which is actually missing right now, it would go and sit right here in this spot. But then how do we get the redstone back to these guys? Unless we send it through the turtle, so like the turtle that would sit right here would relay the signal through these guys. It sounds like it'll get very complicated to do that, though. I don't know. Do you guys think it might be worth it? If you guys happen to know anything about how random wheat is to grow, or is not random, or is whatever, then that's an idea to think about, is doing that. And let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Wheat Detection version 2 contraption. But in any case, let's go ahead and leave that aside for now, and let's go ahead and get this guy to harvest the wheat, or plant the wheat rather. So he harvested the wheat. Now we want him to plant forwards. So at this point, he has all the fuel he needs. He refueled. He waited for the wheat to grow. He harvested backwards. He makes it all the way back to the back of the place over here. And then he has to plant the wheat. So how exactly do we want to do this? So let's go ahead and, first of all, uncomment out the plant forwards command. And let's go ahead and start creating a function called plant forwards. So function, and we have to figure out exactly how we want to do this. How do we want to do this? Plant forwards. There we go. Was there supposed to be an S on the end of that? That is a good question. Plant. Yes, there was supposed to be an S on forwards. Okay. So now here is the dilemma. So planting forwards. We need him to basically. Oh, actually, it's fairly simple. Fairly simple. He just needs to go forward 1. And then run the other function, which was check the wheat status. And he'll be like, oh, okay, that is empty. It is an empty block. And he's like, okay. Oh, no, we don't even need to have him run wheat status. All we need him to do is go forward. Either there will be something here, which is the wheat. Even if the wheat is just small like this, it still counts as taking up the whole block, by the way. So he'll move forward. He'll be here. He'll be like, is there a block below? If there's no block, there's no wheat. If there is a block, then there is wheat, or there is something. Either way, he can't put wheat down. So he checks if there is no block here. If there is no block, then he will plant, and then go forward 1, and then check if there's a block, and then plant, and then go forward and stuff like that. That is basically what he has to do, and just keep repeating that until he reaches over here where he finds a block in front, which would be a chest. And if he finds a chest in front, then he's good to stop. So that would be the idea. So, oh, actually, slightly more complicated than that, because he does need to do something about sorting out which items are seeds and which items are wheat and which items are what in the inventory, which is a bit of a extra step, but that should be okay. So let's get started on that immediately. I'm going to try to work this out off camera and be back with you in a minute. Alrighty, planting forward. So we've got here a fairly longish function, not entirely too long, but it is fairly long. So we will go through it. It is actually fairly simple, and hopefully it all works. Hopefully it all works. So plant forward function. So the whole thing is inside a repeat loop. So up here at the top where the blinking thing is flashing there, cursor there. Repeat loop, the entire thing is in a repeat loop, and here we go. So, finds the inventory seeds. So it has to go through the inventory over here and decide which slot has seeds. So what I have it doing is basically it checks all the slots every time it needs a seed. I don't think that'll slow it down too much. That would mean that like it would go here and check through every single inventory slot one after the other to find the seeds, and then plant the seeds down, and then it would go over to here and do all of them again. Here, it wouldn't bother cycling through. I don't think it would. Did I actually put that in properly? Yeah. No, I didn't. Anyway, so every single block it would scan through and check if it has seeds. I don't think that's really a big deal. Wouldn't slow it down too much, especially since the wheat takes a long time to grow anyways, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. So what we've got here is it goes in this for loop, as you can see up here where the cursor is flashing. It finds the inventory seeds. It cycles through every single slot of the inventory. It goes 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 16. And then it selects the slot as it is cycling. So it counts up every number 1 to 16, sets I to be that number for each time it goes through the loop. And it selects that slot. So it selects slot 1, then 2, and stuff like that. And so it selects slot 1, then here we have a local variable called slotted item, where it basically does turtle.getItemDetail, where it just basically checks the item that is in the slot. What is the item? It checks all kinds of detail on it, and then if slotted item.name, if the name of the item is Minecraft : wheat seeds. I think that was the right spelling, not entirely sure, but we shall find out. If it is wheat seeds, then what we have it doing is, I want to make sure that it is actually the right name for it, so that's why I'm printing the line to the screen saying set has wheat seeds, just in case I messed it up and that's not actually what you call it, because that would be very hard to troubleshoot. But in any case, it checks, so it selects slot 1, then it checks what the item is, everything. If the name of the slotted item is Minecraft : wheat seeds, then it will set this variable seeds slot number equal to I, which is the number of the time that we're through the for loop kind of thing. So basically, it would check what it would do. Here's the overview. Oh, sorry, getting tongue-tied once again. Here is the overview of the situation. So it would select slot 1. It checks, oh, it's seeds. Okay, so seeds are in slot 1. So it says seed slot number is 1. And then it checks here, that's not a seed. So it'll keep the number as 1. That's not a seed. Goes here, and it's like, oh, this has seeds. So now it changes the seed slot number to 4, because this is slot 4, and so it just forgets about 1, it changes it to 4, and it goes through and it finds the last one in line that has seeds in it, and that will end up being what the seed slot number is. So that is basically what it does. So it will, in this case, it will set slot 4 as the one that has the seeds in it, and forget about the rest of them for that time. And it checks this every single block that it moves, by the way, as I said before. So that means that it will not accidentally use up these 17 seeds and then forget about the 64, because it checks every time. So it'll just grab the farthest along one. So then it gets to this next section, which is here, plant seeds. You can see it's got 2 dashes in front of it. That basically means it's commented out. That just means this is a comment to say what's happening here so that we can read it better. So plant seeds. So once it selects which slot actually has the seeds, then it will move forward. So it's here, it selects which slot has the seeds, then it moves forward, and it checks after that. It checks, is block down, what block down? We're basically, as we've done in previous episodes, we're defining the variables for turtle.inspectDown. So we save all the information that we need, and then we check if is block down is equal to false, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Then it will select the slot just in case, because when it is checking where the wheat seeds are, it will go select through all of them and end at the end. And now this slot is selected. It knows that the wheat seeds are in slot 4, but it is selecting slot 16 after going through and checking all the slots. So then we have it move, and then we have it check if there is a block down. If there is no block down, that means that it's free for planting. So then we have it select the slot that it now knows the wheat seeds are in, which in this case is 4. And then it will turtle.place down, and that should plant the wheat seeds. And when the wheat seeds are then planted, then it will repeat. This is the repeat loop, the until. It will repeat until turtle.detect up is equal to true. So it will do all this, get to here, plant the seeds, and then repeat, and do this, repeat, 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 and keep going, and keep going, and keep going, until it gets all the way to the end and finds there is a block above its head, which in this case is a chest. And then it's like, oh, okay, so I'm at the end, so that is the end of that function, so then it's back home. That is the idea. And so let's go ahead and test this thing, because it should, in theory, work. Hopefully that explanation made some sense. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer, or maybe answer in a future video or something. We shall see. Whoop, didn't want to edit that. Wanted to actually run the program. So, wheat harvest in a line. Now, what it will do is it will go, we're starting the program for the first time, so it will go back to the start to start with, and then harvest backwards again, and so it should grab this piece of wheat along the way. But in any case, then it will eventually run the planting forwards function. So there we go. So it is going back to the start, and we shall see what happens. So it should do all the rest of the program as it did last time. It should do it all properly, so it gets back to the start, and then, whoops, wrong button. It then refuels, and just sits there doing nothing. Is it on? There was a timer somewhere. Is that what the... is that what it's doing, or is it... What's wrong with it? Why is it stuck? Why is it stuck on refueling? Okay, let's tell it. We need to know some more information for watching this thing. So we can see from reading the screen there, we can see when it is running refuel, it prints that line. It needs to print the line of whether it has fuel is the idea. So if current fuel is less than or equal to 200, then we need it to print not enough fuel so that we know what is going on. So print not, let's put that in quotes, print not enough fuel. There we go. And that is that. And let's go ahead and save. And then let's go ahead and exit. And let's go ahead and restart. And run the wheat harvest in a line program. There we go. And I accidentally typed in a backslash, but it seems to be working just fine. Running refuel, it's still stuck. Did we have a timer in there? We might have had a timer in there that we forgot about. Is there a timer in the refuel function? There is a timer, but the timer shouldn't be a problem because it's only 4 seconds. So what was it waiting for? Print running refuel, and then after that it... okay. It is in wait for the wheat. That's the problem. Okay, so we need to actually know what's going on. We need to put at the beginning of every function, we need to put a print line to say that it's running the function so that we can see what it's doing, so that we don't get confused like that in the future. So let's go ahead and do that right over here. Print and running, what is this one called? Wheat status. The status of the program is that it's running wheat status, which is excellent. So that is that, save that, and then down here, wait for the wheat. And I'm going to go ahead and fill all these print lines in so that we can see what's going on better, and then be back with you in a minute. There we go. Let's go ahead and try this again. Wheat harvest in a line, running fine starting position, running refuel. It will wait 4 seconds in refuel, and then wait for the wheat, and running wheat status. Okay, so it's waiting for the wheat. So that is what is taking so long. Let's go ahead and once again, like we did last time, let's go ahead and comment out the wait for the wheat function, and then it won't have to wait for the wheat, and we can just see what it's actually doing. So let's go ahead and there we go. Comment out wait for the wheat. And now we can run it again. It will not wait for the wheat, and it will just go ahead and run backwards. So running refuel, wait 4 seconds, and then harvest backwards and checking the wheat status. Okay, so it's harvesting backwards, and it will go all the way back, grab this one along the way, there we go, and head all the way to the back, and once it reaches the back of the place over here, then it will go ahead and... oh dear. Okay, running running plant forwards, has wheat seeds, and line 67, attempt to index a nil value. Okay, so we're trying to compare something that's nothing, basically, is what we're trying to do. On line 67, I think it said 67. Where's 67? There we go. If slotted item dot name. Oh, okay. So here's the problem. Here is the problem. As soon as it got to slot 5, it's what it's doing right here. In case you're a little bit lost. What it's doing right here is it is finding the inventory seeds, and what it's doing, it went through slot 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when it hit 5, there's no items in 5, and it got stuck because it tried on line 67 right here, compare if the name of the slotted item, is Minecraft : wheat seeds, but there's no item, so there's no name, so it's a nil value, there's nothing there, so it can't compare it to anything because it's nothing, so that's the problem. So what we need to do is we need to have it do 2 comparisons. We need to first, how exactly are we gonna forget how to do this? Let me go, let me figure this out and be back in a second. Aha! So the first thing we want to have it do is check if slotted item. So that, and we put that in brackets so that it evaluates that as one thing, and then put the rest of this in one thing. Slotted item dot name is equal to Minecraft : wheat seeds, and put that in brackets, or technically parentheses. But parentheses are a lot harder to say than brackets, so let's go ahead and call them brackets for the moment. But in any case, if slotted item, and so basically what this does is it checks, this is an AND evaluation, so it checks if there is a slotted item, if there is an item in the slot, and if there is an item in the slot, then it checks, and the item name is wheat seeds. But here's the thing. If there is no item in the slot, then it won't continue to evaluate. It won't bother to check if it's named wheat, so it won't get stuck, because this is an and so both of them have to be true. So if the first one, if there is no slotted item, then it doesn't bother checking the second one, so that is excellent. So if slotted item, if there is an item in the slot and the name of the item is wheat seeds, then print has wheat seeds. So let's go ahead and try this again. Let's go ahead and restart, and let's go ahead and not edit. Let's go ahead and run wheat harvest in the line. Of course, it has to find its starting position once again. So it's going to go ahead and do that, and then it's going to go backwards, and then it's going to go ahead and plant it forwards, and we shall see if it is possible to do it properly. So that is the idea, and we shall see if it will work. Okay, there we go. It is harvesting backwards. It is harvesting backwards, and there's nothing to harvest at the moment, so it will go all the way to the back. And it is very good, actually, that our program works very well so far. It works very well so far, and so that is good. Okay, now, oh, nice! It's going through, and you can see it is going along and planting. And I'm going to go ahead and stand here, grab the turtle on the way by so that you can see it better. But it's got, come on, hurry up, come on. There we go. So you can see it's checking if it has wheat seeds. It scans every slot and then jumps back to slot 4, because it scans every slot and it knows 4 is the one that has seeds. So when it goes to actually plant, it jumps back to slot 4. And there we go. It is going along nicely. It is planting them all back, and it should reach the end here and stop as it's supposed to at the end. It should do that. Okay, there we go. So we this has wheat seeds thing is kind of cluttering the screen. We can take that off because we don't need it anymore. So let's go ahead and find that down here. It would be in the this function down here where we just put it. Has wheat seeds. Where did it go? There was a print line somewhere. Let's just leave it for now. So what we need now is we have everything working, including planned forwards. Now we just need to have it sort which items go where, and then it'll be good to go. So what are the item possibilities that it could have in its inventory? It could have wheat seeds, which it needs to have some seeds left over, because if it has some seeds, then it can use them to plant in case the wheat doesn't give it enough seeds on harvesting, because that occasionally happens. So if it keeps a little bit of a stash of seeds, that would be good. Aside from that, everything else, like lava buckets, I mean, these chests eventually will be full of lava buckets, so it doesn't need to worry about keeping any buckets that it has, because it will sort the important last on the list after doing a refuel already, so that should be fine. So basically all it needs to do is dump everything into these chests at the end here, and let's go ahead and get rid of this massive pillar of dirt up here. But in any case, so it basically can dump everything into the chest except for keeping a little bit of seeds in its inventory like this. I don't know if it's even worth, because I'm just thinking that sounds really complicated to try to keep seeds in its inventory and try to keep track of which slot has the seeds in it and which slot doesn't and things like that. It's basically a matter of rewriting the first section of this program here that we just did up here. Rewriting that all over again is basically what the idea is. And I don't think that's worth it. So I think we'll just have it drop everything and then go backwards, and whatever seeds it picks up on the way back are what it picks up, is kind of what I'm thinking. Hopefully that's a good idea, and let me know if you guys think the same thing or not, but we shall find out. So, sort the important, and that will just simply be a matter of dropping everything into the chest in front. And so that would be excellent function. This would be fairly simple to do. Sort the important. And there we go. Let's go ahead and do this. And we can leave it as a function called sort the important, even though it's not actually sorting anything, because if we decide to have it sort something in the future, if you guys write in the comments and you're like, no, it should be sorting the seeds, keeping some seeds or whatever, and stuff like that, then maybe we'll go ahead and adjust this. But for now, we'll just have it go and select every slot and dump the items into the chest in front. So we need to have it. I'm going to go ahead and type this off camera and be back with you in a minute. Okay, so this is actually very simple. Just go ahead and for I equals 1 to 16 do it. We'll keep cycling I up to be the next number in line, and it will select the slot and then drop the item down. That's basically what it will do. The only thing is, will this command drop one item or one stack of items? That is the question. But we shall find out. And here's another possible scenario. If it gets to the end, a possible scenario is if it gets to the end of the thing and perhaps the chest is full for some strange reason, what will happen in that case? Will it just keep trying to harvest and keep throwing items on the ground or something? Not entirely sure what will happen, but we shall find out. We shall find out eventually. But for now, let's just go ahead and wheat harvest in a lime. In a lime. Okay, like a lemon, but a lime. And anyways, let's go ahead and harvest the wheat and see what happens. And okay, so it is going to go all the way back, and then it's going to go all the way forward, and then it's going to find out if everything is good, and it needs to, at the end, oh, we forgot to have it print. We forgot to have it print the line saying it was actually running that new function. But that is okay. We have a fairly good idea if it starts scanning its items, so we don't really need the print line for that necessarily. So let's go ahead and watch this guy crawl forward like a true turtle. He is moving at a turtle's pace, which is excellent. Or, well, it's adequate, I guess. It's not necessarily excellent, because it would be best if he's running faster, but he's running adequately. So let's go ahead and check on the turtle when he gets here. Okay, so he's getting to the end, and when he gets to the end, oh, he is dropping every single item out of the slot. There we go. And as you can see, the program is done. There is the command prompt again. We can go ahead and type things in there just like that. And he dropped everything into the chest, which is excellent indeed. And yeah, what will happen if the chest is full? That is a good question. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? How do you guys think we should handle if the chest happens to be full? If the chest happens to be full, that could happen fairly soon, actually. Eventually, this thing will be connected to our applied Energistics system, and everything will be running smoothly. But for now, the chest could get full, and then the turtle will be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and harvest. But then the turtle's full because the chest is full, and then he just goes ahead and wastes materials and things. Yeah, not entirely sure how that's going to work. But for now, let's go ahead and edit. And let's go ahead and tell this thing to go ahead and repeat himself over and over and over again. That would be the idea. So let's have him wait for the wheat. And let's have him... Whoops. Let's go ahead and delete the proper thing to delete. There we go. Now it is going to be repeating over and over again and running this program many, many times. And we need to have it actually running on startup, you know, doing the basic things. Edit, startup, there we go. And we need to have shell.run. If you guys have seen us do this before, shell.run. And the program is called wheat harvest in a line, I think. Wheat harvest. It's not autofilling for some reason. The autofill is a little bit weird sometimes, but in any case, wheat harvest in a line. There we go. And so on startup, it will run this program, which says to run the other program, so that will be excellent. So let's go ahead and restart this, and we shall see, yes, it is running as it should be, and it will run a wait for the wheat fairly soon. There we go. It is waiting for the wheat. That is excellent. So now the only thing that we need it to do is we need to copy the program onto the other turtles, and so let's see. We need to do that. And do we have the disk drive anywhere? Do we have the disk? The disk drive is way up over there. But yeah, so let me know. Sorry, getting tongue-tied once again. Let me know what you guys think about the whole matter. If we should have him, like what we should do. That is kind of a major flaw in the farm, is if it goes ahead and keeps running when the chest is full. That's kind of a major flaw in the farm. So. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the matter, if you have any thoughts on that. Actually, maybe it's not too major of a flaw, because it will... What did we do with our disk drive? Oh, it must be outside. It must be outside. It must be. So, yes, here's the situation. What would end up happening is the turtle would fill up its own internal inventory with items, and it will go back and harvest, and it will not grab any items when it harvests, which is not ideal, except that... Where's the disk drive? There it is. So the turtle will have a full inventory. It will try to harvest anyways. It will go backwards and harvest, and the items will just fall on the ground, and it will go back, and it will not... Like, I was worried that it would kind of use up all of the seeds that are in its inventory and everything. And then sort of the farm would die off because there's no wheat left. But... that might not be much of a problem because of the fact... Whoops, missed that. I was trying to jump on top of that. Because of the fact, if the turtle's inventory is full and it goes backwards, then it has seeds in its inventory, and it comes forwards, plants the seeds, and then next time, if it still can't put anything in the chest, then it will go back and harvest wheat, and it will pick up a few seeds because it has a little room from harvesting. Last time it has a little bit of room. And so then it will go and then grab some more seeds and then go ahead and go back. And so the farm will continue running, which is good. We will lose the extra wheat harvest that we would get from it, but the farm will not die off completely, which is good. So hopefully that makes some sense. In any case, we need to go ahead and copy this. Terminate, please. Thank you very much. Okay. And we need to copy... from the one turtle to the other, and go along the line, fill in these other 4 turtles, or other 3 turtles with the programs. And there we go. Let's go ahead and copy wheat, harvest in a line, to disk / wheat, harvest in a line. There we go. And let's check that it worked properly. dir disk, check the directories on the disk. Wheat harvest in a line. We have a lot of programs on this disk already. This is kind of the disk for storing all of our programs. Okay, wheat harvest in a line is now on the disk, which is excellent indeed. Let's go ahead and we need to eject the disk somehow. Not entirely sure if we need to do that or not, but let's go ahead and pull the disk out. There we go. Let's move this thing along and fill in the other turtle like this. And let's see, restart this guy as well, because we might as well have this turtle running. There we go. And have this thing restart as well. So edit, and not edit. We need to have him copy, not CD. Let's have, actually, what does that CD command do? Do you guys happen to know anything about that? But in any case, copy disk / wheat harvest in a line to wheat, and this is going to take quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera and be back with you in a minute. Wheat harvest, come on, type properly, in a line. There we go, and now it is on the turtle. And actually, one more thing to do just before going off camera is to create the startup program on this turtle. So edit startup. Actually, no, we've done this before, so I'll be back in a minute. The program has now been installed on all of the turtles over here, which is excellent indeed. So they will stand there and wait for the wheat to grow, and then they will all move on. And so we have these 4 rows of wheat farm completely automated, which is excellent indeed. Well, except for the fact of getting the lava to the wheat farm in the first place, and getting the items out from the wheat farm out back to the main place. But The rest of the thing is completely automated, which is excellent indeed. So I think that for now, next episode, we are going to be doing some different things, changing things up a little bit. I think we shall check that. So, what are we going to be doing next episode? We're probably going to expand these chests a little bit, first of all, just like making these into double chests to hold more items in them, which would be excellent. Okay, so making those into double chests. The reason we were making the wheat farm is to... Actually, let's go ahead and do that right now, I think. But the reason we were making the wheat farm was to expand our sheep farm to make loads and loads of red wool. So next episode, I guess we're going to be working on that, or at least getting as far along that as we can. And we were making the red wool to color the rocket room with red wool, because that's kind of... that would be interesting to do. So... that would be what we're doing, and then we're going to be heading back to space, trying to get up... well, not back to space, we're going to be going back to getting to space, if that makes any sense. But in any case, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of wood for the chest, and call it a day. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and stuff like that, and next episode we are going to be going ahead and continuing along this, trying to get this rocket room colored with red wool, and then we can get ready to head out of the base just like that. And we can go ahead and prepare the minor details of oxygen and things like that to get to space. As long as the room is colored, then things are good to go. We can deal with the oxygen in a minute. But yes, what were we getting? Yes, we were getting some wood for a chest. But that is that for today. So we're going to be going ahead and continuing making the red sheep next episode, or something along those lines at least, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and stuff like that, and see you guys later. Bye-bye!